Good day to my dear supervisor and my beloved panels. My name is REVATHI PARAMASIVAM from Class 3 BNN. Would like to present my proposal for a Bachelor degree project. The title that I had proposed to my supervisor, Dr. Faizah, is Comparison of Moringa StenopetalA and Kabuli Chickpea Absorbance Efficiency as Natural Coagulant for Domestic Wastewater Treatment. As we know, water is one of the most important resources and plays a major role in the quality of organisms on this planet. However, due to an increase in population, water is consumed more, which leads to decrease in the amount of clear water. To increase the amount of clear water, water undergoes water treatment where synthetic, organic and inorganic substances are used in the process. The problem arises because many hazardous compounds and heavy metals such as chromium present in the wastewater. Thus, wastewater from any sources including domestic wastewater must be treated and purified before consuming it again to avoid any bad effect to the one who consumed it. However, water treatment such as coagulation utilize chemical coagulants such as alum, which the cost is high. People from rural area can't afford it. Besides that, most of the coagulants are non-biodegradable, which can produce large sludge if the treatment process does not undergo accurately. Thus, to overcome these problems, natural coagulants are introduced to treat wastewater, which can remove chromium that is present in the wastewater. The objective of the studies are to process and utilize Moringa StenopetalA seeds and Kabuli chickpeas as natural coagulant for domestic wastewater treatment. Then, to characterize both ingredients as natural absorbent and to evaluate the performance of Moringa StenopetalA seeds and Kabuli chickpea as natural coagulants for domestic wastewater treatment. Next, we move to the literature review. I would like to make my study benefit to the people from housing or rural area. Thus, my scope will move to the domestic wastewater that produced due to activities mostly from residential buildings. It contains organic and inorganic compounds that can alter the physical condition of receiving water bodies and lower the oxygen level, which will cause danger for life of water species. Water treatment involves two types of method, which are physical and chemical method treatment. In wastewater treatment, coagulation and flocculation are important for solid liquid separation. The presence of chromium 4, which is a type of heavy metal, can cause several bad effects to the human body, such as serious diarrhea. Thus, it is very important to remove this heavy metal using a strong adsorbent. Natural absorbents such as soybean and pumpkin seeds are introduced to replace commercial absorbents such as activate carbon. A coagulant is a substance that is added to water to reduce the forces that keep particles collide and turn larger in order to fall to the bottom of the beaker. Usage of commercial coagulants such as aluminium causes negative effect on the human health. Thus, natural coagulants are introduced. Natural coagulants contain positive charge protein that has capability to reduce turbidity level and chemical oxygen demand. Natural coagulant is divided into two, which are plant-based and non-plant-based coagulant. Moringa StenopetalA seeds and Kabuli chickpea are plant-based coagulant, which do contain cationic polypeptides with various functional groups. It does not contain hazardous chemical compounds, which helps to preserve the quality of water after the coagulation process. It has a functional group that is capable of removing chromium 4. Besides that, it is a low-cost coagulant which is easily available. For this study, experiment will be carried out where we begin with the collection of water samples, then the preparation of the natural coagulants. It followed by absorption studies for chromium 4 removal, and finally the determination of efficiency for natural coagulants through physiochemical parameters. The Moringa StenopetalA and Kabuli are collected and turned into a powder form. The powders are diluted separately to 4 different dosages, which are 50, 100, 150 and 200 mg per liter. Meanwhile, wastewater samples are collected, stored in the bottle samples at optimum temperature. For the absorption study to remove chromium-4, the coagulant that was prepared earlier will be mixed with the chromium-4 solution. This solution is prepared by dissolving potassium dichromate in water. The absorbance efficiency is determined through adsorption acceptance. The comparison of efficiency for both natural coagulants are determined through a jar test. The parameters that will be evaluated are turbidity level, pH value, and chemical oxygen demand value. The expected results are the seeds of Moringa Stenopetala and Kabuli chickpea in the powder form will be obtained. Next, the amount of chromium-4 removal by Moringa Stenopetala seeds and Kabuli chickpeas powder as natural adsorbent will be identified at a different dosage. The expected optimum dosage for chromium-4 removal is 200 mg per liter due to larger surface area of adsorbent. Moringa Stenopetala is expected to have a higher efficiency as a natural coagulant due to presence of more cationic proteins compared to Kabuli chickpeas. The conclusion that has been made from this proposal is domestic wastewater can be treated naturally, which helps to preserve the quantity and quality of the water. The studies will have a greater exposure towards usage of natural coagulants which have the ability to remove an amount of chromium-4. Finally, the usage of Moringa Stenopetala and Kabuli chickpea to treat wastewater can be wider. That's all from me. Thank you.